By the end of this video, you should be 1% more confident. Freedom is chasing you, but you are faster. What's the key to confidence? Well, the first step to feeling more confident, you have to decide. This sounds like an easy thing to do, right? Oh, well, of course I have to decide. I'm here telling you I want to be more confident. That's why I'm on this video. Of course, obviously. No. Why are you looking at this video anyway? You don't think you could be. You still haven't decided yet. You have to decide. That's step one. To making anything happen internally, which will allow for anything to happen externally, you need to decide to be more confident. Like, you actually have to like sit down with yourself, really check yourself, have a conversation with yourself, deep dive into your thoughts. You have to ask yourself, can you even be more confident? Hit subscribe. This is where your self-image comes in, because you could do anything, to be honest. If I could do it, you could do it. If they could do it, you could do it. That's how I operate, right? All my life, if I see somebody doing something like people building houses, and I feel like, oh yeah, that's something interesting, I could do it. If I really wanted to, I would. So you can do anything. You could literally do anything. Your imagination, if you could think of it, you could probably do it, right? It's just a bitch to figure out how. You don't need to understand your how. At this point, you really just need to decide, or else you will never understand your how. You could only process one thought at a time. Like right now, try thinking about like ice cream, and at the same time thinking about orange soda, or like Chick-fil-A or something. Try to have all three thoughts at the same time. Like, really try. You can't think of three things at the same time. It's always one thought. They might be switching over fast. It's still just one thought every millisecond, or whatever, how fast. But at a time, it's one thought. You can't be focused on wanting to be that thing and actually being that thing, because you're looking from the outside of the club. You can't even get in. The universe still sees you as needy. That's one thing about humans, right? Somebody hugging you too much, somebody always like need to like cut you off of what you're doing to go do something else. Non-stop, heavy. One person, right? It feels like that person is needy. You always want this confidence from the universe, but you already have everything you need. So you kind of just annoying the universe by wanting it, so you'll never get it. Confidence chasing you, but you faster. Because you can't focus on doing things that a person who has it would if you're thinking about being a person who has it. You could only process one thought at a time. So you need to focus on, what would a person who is this type of person that I want to be do to do this, to accomplish this thing? How would they act? You know what I mean? How would I act if I was confident? What would I do? Well, I would da-da-da. Immediately, you start to get your answers. Anything you feel a way about, just deep dive, But you have to decide to be more confident, and you have to decide, like, yeah, I will. Soft thing, done with this, done. Like, I'm done with this, for real. So you make the decision, and then you ask yourself, can you do it? You look around, you could definitely do it. We're all the same species, no? Human beings made in God's image. If they could accomplish that, and they could be so confident, why not you? So you can do anything. You can be. Next question is, are you willing to do whatever it takes, whatever you have to do? You can't predict what exactly will happen in the future. All the ridicule that can come with it, all the whatever. You can always find something to be embarrassed about, really. It's all about you and your mindset, right? You're just deciding to be more. You don't feel like you're there yet. You just need to be willing to say, yeah, am I willing to do whatever I have to do to get this thing done? Yes, because what else you gonna do? What is the other option? Not becoming who you're supposed to be. At whatever age, even if you say, well, this is gonna take me like 20 years to accomplish, like it's gonna take me 30 years, 50 years, whatever, how long it's gonna take you not to do it, hit subscribe. Because you will not do it, and then when you're 75, you still didn't accomplish nothing, and you use 75 years. You already maxed out your potential of the person you are now, right now. This is your max. With everything that's about you being true right now, this second, this stage you at, that's just where you belong. That's the vibration you're on right now. It's literally like that. Life could change like that, right? So wherever you're at the time, that's your maximum vibration. But you have to move into a higher vibration if you decide you want to elevate your life. And as you're doing that, like all of this groundwork that you're doing, all this studying that you've been doing, all this practicing, all this self-improvement, all this, everything you've been doing, all this working, is just gonna keep compiling. You have to ask yourself, am I willing to wait the 20 years it's gonna take? Am I willing to wait the 20 months it's gonna take? The 20 weeks? The 20 days? We got 24 hours. You could go out and do something right now that change your life like that. 20 hours, sleep for the next 4. You could do that right now. 20 minutes. You do 20 minutes worth of searching people's numbers and call up some execs and make your life change right now. However long you think it's gonna take, are you willing to do that? Plus more? And then a bigger question now, are you able? That's when you figure out the how. Who would I need to become to do this? What kind of mindset I would have to have? How would I have to think? What would I have to be deciding on? Like, so we back to decision 1, deciding. Who do I need to become to be this person? Hit subscribe. You could define that however you decide to define that. And that's where your creativity comes in. You have your will, you have your intuition, you have your imagination, you have reasoning skills, you have perception, and you have memory. All of these things are preloaded into your mind. All of these things. So you came with a programming. You need to remember that you have that and use it. You could have the will to do anything you want to do, because if you really want to do it, it becomes a goal. And if it's a real goal, like a real goals are emotionally set, not just talk or typed. You don't just write down, oh, I will do this, or you don't just say it every day and repeat it and it's gonna happen. You have to be emotionally about this thing, because when you're emotionally about that thing, what happens when somebody emotional? That normally comes with some form of action. Hit subscribe. Doing something, you're behaving in a certain way, you're expressing yourself a certain way, you're doing action when you're emotional. So when you're emotionally involved with something, you're gonna do things to get that thing. You will become that person that does that kind of thing, because this is what you're after. It could be selfish. If you're so focused and you're like Rod Rice, shout out AOT family, crazy show, Attack on Titan. You're gonna do things that a self-serving person would do, because that's just what you're after. Self-preservation. And that's just some people's goal. And that's everybody's goal in a sense, but that's another conversation. You will become that type of person once you're emotionally involved with whatever idea you're trying to accomplish, right? So you have to put emotion into the ideas that you want to accomplish. Go back over it and remember how you felt when you wrote it down, or when you decided. Just go back to it, try to remember how you felt, and then say, okay, let me add some more emotion to that. Like, do I really want this thing? Am I willing to go through everything I have to go through to get this thing? Like, is it worth it? Like, for real? How much is it worth? You still haven't reached that point. So it's like, okay, well, if this happens, then it's not worth it. So the bar is set here, and the work that you have to do will bring you to here, but you could accomplish it here. You don't have to die to get it. You could accomplish it here. So the work that you do, come up to here, and you still don't die. You don't have to die, and you already accomplished it. You reached the point where you could. Then what else you need? That's a good goal. You know, you're willing to go this far. Define your far. How far you willing to go? And then you're gonna know if you really want it. If you say, but no, I do. As long as they ain't kill me, I going for it. You got it. That's it there. As long as I ain't lose my house. Well, could you get it without losing your house? Could you get it without moving? As long as I ain't got to drop these people. Could you get it without them? Could you get it without having to drop them? Like, if you can't, then, and you double check and you say, well, I really can't afford to lose, then you go back over again and you ask yourself, for real, like, look at your life right now and see if you really want this thing changed. And then find out, like, okay, maybe I really don't mind, you know, I would find new people, however. So really ask yourself, what am I willing to do or lose? What am I willing to get better at to get this thing? Like, when I was going to school, when I was deciding to go to school, I had got accepted into like this college, FIU. As I was about to sign up for classes, I asked myself, like, you really willing to give up this next 10 years to be a doctor? Plus more, plus the debt, plus all of this, plus school, plus double shift, triple shifts on jobs to keep up with expenses, plus having to like buy a car, plus having to buy your food and move around, and you still want to do something every now and again. You got to buy clothes, you got to buy shoes, you got to do your hair, because at that time I wanted to grow my hair out. As you see now, got my hair out. Wanted long hair since high school. That's crazy. But you can manifest everything. But are you willing to do the work? You're willing to lose that? You're willing to have to spend hours doing research for months trying to find a dome? Like, you're willing to do all of that? Really, just to set up a winery? Yeah. Really find out what your goals are, and then you could decide, okay, I'm going for it. Because you're going to have to keep deciding. Every consecutive step has a new decision to make. The human brain is already making over 35,000 decisions every day, just living. That's your unconscious mind too. Your conscious mind has to be making decisions too. You can't have your subconscious mind doing all the decision making. You have to consciously decide at every step. Every consecutive step requires a new decision. Am I willing to do this? Decide. What am I willing to lose for this thing? Decide. What am I willing to grow in? What am I willing to improve on to get to this thing? Decide. You're always playing this game of A or B. You might not decide at all, and you just do nothing, which is also a decision. Do nothing? Yes. No. That's also a decision. Even not deciding is a decision. Go back and check yourself and just run through all your thoughts, right? And then after you decided you're willing to do it, you know you could do it, you're able to do it. If anybody could do it, you could do it. And you already decided, yeah, this is how far I'm willing to go for this thing. And you got emotionally involved, right? Now you start to figure out how. Because now you start to think like the person who would have that thing. Like, what would this person have in place that I don't have now? Or this, or that, or this. So they'll be doing this, or I would be doing this. Hit subscribe. Not even this person. Think about yourself in that position. That's how I do it. Show up every day. Every day you need to add to your skills. Every day you need to add to your knowledge, add to your mindset. Just keep building, right? Because like we said before, you're willing to do 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, however long it's going to take. And however long it takes, decide on what you're willing to do in the time frame. So if you say it's going to take a long time, it's going to take a long time. If you say you're going to get it in a reasonably short time, try to cut that down to as short as possible. And keep trying to cut that in half, cut that time in half. You know, what you could do. That means you have to just keep building, keep showing up, because every day you miss is a day added on. You don't actually miss days when you don't show up. You just add days to the end of the tail. You add days to the snake tail. Days don't just disappear. So let's say life is a line, right? Or a circle or whatever. And at a certain point, there's a flash where the line shows up, and that's like your window to die. But nobody knows yet, because when you're dying, that's when you know. So you always know in the present. The present is the only part of time you're reading actively right now on the physical plane. Before you get to the end of the line, every day you skip not showing up. Let's say you were supposed to accomplish your goals here. This is where you decided, and you wasted time, and this time has passed. Now you're here, right? Are you here? Just past it. Every day you don't show up just adds another day at the end of your tail. Hit subscribe. So it just draws you closer to the point where some people live their whole life and then start a business when they're old, and then now they ended up starting here and dying soon after, right? You never know where the line is, where the end of the line is. But the snake, like, it's kind of running away from the line, because everybody is running away from death. So it's running this way. This time has passed. So you're eating this. This time has been ate. Past has already been consumed. We've already used that time. But the snake is moving towards the past. And every day you skip to there, you just put it to the end of the tail. If you could accomplish your goals at this point, then the more days you add to your tail, you're just gonna make your interception point shorter. The sooner you do it, the better it is for you in terms of enjoying it. Because then when you look back on your life and you look at the snake, like, you got chopped off. You didn't even get to enjoy the ride. Try to get your goal compressed down to as short as possible. That doesn't mean try to rush it. What I said is as possible. You still want to achieve this thing and make it last. If it's going to take you 20 years to do it, you could definitely believe it's going to take you a hell of a lot longer to not do it. Hit subscribe. That you would die and never do it. And that's how you know you were never really emotionally involved with it. You just thought this was something you could have done, or it was interesting to you. You didn't actually want it. Now you have to reevaluate while you still have time. reevaluate. Do I really want that? What I said I want? Why don't I have it yet? Because you haven't fully decided. Because you haven't decided, so you don't come up with ideas as to how to get it. You need to decide. If you decide to be more confident, then you would start to do things confident people do. Hit subscribe. You won't let people talk to you crazy. You won't let people just do whatever with your shit, with your stuff. Like you know what I mean? You don't let people decide for you. You don't just follow because somebody told you let's go. You will become that person. Something about the state you're in now feels comfortable, so you stay in it. Learning is only the tip of the iceberg. You have to understand and then you master it. That's when you're confident at doing something. Mastery brings confidence because experience brings confidence. You know exactly what you need to do, but you don't think you have the ability. But really and truly, you just need to decide. Because when you decide, you start doing the things, you start building the things, and as you get there, you become confident in doing the thing because you've done it. So decide. You have to ask yourself, am I willing? Am I able? Am I willing? What am I willing to lose? What am I willing to gain? What will I gain? Imagine if this was your life just fulfilled. Imagine all the things you would have that you don't have now in terms of spirituality and the peace and your mindset and your space and even the things you own, whatever you want. This is your universe. Do some doodling. Get creative. Just go to a quiet room and just have that conversation with yourself and do it every day. Apparently, like, most of my audience isn't subscribed. Apparently, if I ask you to subscribe, you'd subscribe for me. So hit subscribe and let's help each other out. I mean, I want to reach more people so that they could find the same value that you found, and you want to keep finding value. Equal exchange. Let's make magic. It's alchemy. So hit subscribe. Hit subscribe.